Good afternoon. This is maybe Old Salt Gamer. I'm still playing around with stationaries, waiting for some new developments. I'm trying to run through a few things on Europa, just because I wanted to be. And I got my basic base set up. I went out and made steel and did a whole bunch of other things. But I wanted to refine some programming a little bit. I used to use the sleep mode for my grow light, which worked really well, but then you couldn't do anything else with the one chip because, well, it was sleeping. So I changed some programming here. I added a daylight sensor here. Now the solar angle isn't constant, with season changes, but it's pretty regular. And it's been working pretty well so far, so let me show you what I did with a couple things there. Basically I have the grow light sensor, oh, that's a gas sensor, I'm sorry, wall heat, and solar. Now that's the solar sensor that I just showed you. So this chip right now is controlling my inside temperature and the grow light at the same time, which I couldn't do before when I did sleep, because it would sleep while controlling the grow light and wouldn't do anything else. So basically what I've done here is I've loaded the gas sensor's temperature for the inside of the room, and then I loaded into R2 the wall heater to see if it was on. And then if R2 equaled 1, or if the wall heater is on, break relative 3 lines, because I didn't want to check if it was already on, if it was on. So 1, 2, 3, and then I put down here, break relative if R2 equals 0, which is if it's off. Well, if it's on, then it's not going to be off, so it's not going to break relative. Then it saves into R1, or less than. It saves if it's less than. In other words, if R0 is less than 299, it puts 1 into R1. And then I save D2, which is the wall heater, on to whatever that value is. So if it comes up here and it's off, then it's going to go through its cycle and it's going to check break relative if R2 is 1 after it loads on. It's not, it's going to be 0. So then it's going to check if it's under 294, and if it is, it's going to set D2, the wall heater, onto that. So if it's not under 294, it's going to be 0. So then it's going to save the wall heater on to 0 or off. So that is how I'm controlling my wall heater. Now that is a little nicer than what I did before, and it's working really well. And then I have it jump to grow light in here a couple times. I could probably take that out. Do I need that? Actually, I guess I don't. Yeah, I could take that out. I've been experimenting with this. I might leave that in there for now, because I might add stuff to this later on. So here, it's very simple. The grow light's on. If the solar angle, which I load into R0 here, from the solar daylight sensor, if it's greater than 100, then I turn the grow light on. If it's not, I turn it off. Very simple. And then of course I have grow on, and jump back to start. So that's been working really well. And as you can see over here, I think I have my plant sensor loaded. Yeah, see, right now I'm at a 106% growth efficiency. I do have some illumination stress. I can't seem to get rid of all of it, and it does vary. When it's on, sometimes the illumination stress will go down, sometimes it'll go up. 5% illumination stress is nothing, as you can see by the fact that I got 105% growth efficiency. So that's all working really well. So that's the first time I've ever used a daylight sensor. You can see it goes down into the 50s and then it goes back up. Now, I have to keep monitoring this for one full season just to make sure it doesn't get a little funky at the extremes of winter and summer. I don't think it will. I know potatoes are pretty forgiving anyway. But I do have potatoes growing. I have one sitting over here. I don't have a refrigerator yet, so I just throw the potato on the floor. Got my water hooked up. I do have some ice. I found some ice. I kept that. And I still have 70 liters. That's down a little bit. 70 liters. I don't know if I watch that. You can see the problem. I like to trick the computer. And I didn't do it that time. If you eat the potato completely, then you get 99% water. If you eat the potato and stop it right before it fills you up, and then eat the cereal bar, even if it's just a few percentage points, you get 125% water. So I like to treat the system. Now I'm a little nervous about going outside. Let me turn this off, because I am due for a storm. So don't be surprised if we get a storm. Now I do have an advanced airlock here because I don't want to bring any more of Europa's minus 146 degree air into my room. So I got to watch that. I do have enough power up here. Let me grab this while I'm thinking of it. I hate to fly because I am like overdue for a storm. The first one came at 8 days, and I am now on day 18, and I have not had a second storm, so I am really due. But up here, this runs this whole base. It keeps my station battery charged. I don't have to do anything with power right now. Of course, as I expand, I'm going to have to add a few things. And you can see I did a lot of mining. There's holes everywhere. Ore here is not a problem. The last base I did, I think it was Mars. Man, I couldn't find ores. This one has like an abundance of them. And that's pretty weird. I don't know. This is the beta, by the way, so I'm still testing a few things. I got Constantine, so I was able to update all my printers to mod 2. So let's take a look here at something that I've been playing with, and let me turn this on, and then hit next because I have the plant monitor in there. This is the Deep Miner scanner. Now, this is going to be interesting because apparently regions give you different ores now, and they only give you one ore. So I hate to go too far from the base. Let me run in here real quick because I know there's going to be a storm hitting during this. I want to turn my tracker on real quick. And what are we doing for battery? That's good. Alright, so let's go in here real quick. Do I have the tracker in there? Nope, I got... The problem with having a Deep Miner, I might have to make another tablet, because I got 4 stinking cartridges I got to use, which, you know, this gets to be a pain in the neck. And I should set that to 0. Every time I go out here, I've been thinking I need to do that. So let me just double check my tracker here. Set to E-liner. Thank you for the people, by the way, that told me you can use the mouse bar. I've never done that before. Or the mouse wheel. To switch between yourself. Not sure why you would want to track yourself other than to get your location of where you're standing. For some reason, if you found something. But there's the tracking beacon, so we're good there. Now, I've run quite a ways, and it gets dark here really fast, by the way. And all I've seen is cobalt, so I'm not exactly sure how to use this yet. Because does that mean if I put a deep miner anywhere in this area, oops, watch the mining hole, I'm just going to get cobalt? That's very unhelpful. I I tried scrolling. There's no way to scroll. I'm gonna be out here in the middle of a storm. You watch. Cobalt ore composition, cobalt. Oh, there's lead. So it does change. Now, how are you gonna run power from your base way out here if you want lead? You're gonna have to set up outposts, and I think that's what they want you to do. They want you to set up outposts, which is going to be interesting. Cobalt and lead, I could probably get enough of both of those just by mining with the mining gear. But see, here it says lead for the deep miner. There's iron everywhere, so I don't know if they're going to refine that or change that a little bit, but there's lead. Like I said, I didn't have any trouble finding ores on this planet. Gold everywhere. The last one I ran the Mars one. I couldn't find gold anywhere. This one's got gold everywhere. Still lead. So you're going to have to, if you want a deep mine, you're going to have to set up multiple outposts. If I'm understanding this correctly, and if I'm not, I'm sure somebody will let me know. Which is, that's kind of cool, but you're going to have a separate power system, and it's still lead for each one of these, are just not mined. Like, I won't have to mine for cobalt or lead. I can just, like I said, surface mine that. Still lead. So again, beta, I don't know if they're going to change this. There's some copper. I should probably mine that. Still lead. Iron. I think the main thing I would want to deep mine is, iron. Oh, they can mine a lot of that here. Copper and gold, just so you don't have to deal with it. And then what are you going to do? You're going to run shoots all the way from your outpost. It's still lead. It just hasn't changed. Shoots from your outpost to your base. I am determined to build. It's still lead. To build a rover, and that will be in the next episode. If I am able to build it, I'm going to build one. And that may be the way you have. Oh, I'm back to cobalt. Just cobalt and lead, for crying out loud. So I guess you have to run around, mark the locations on a tablet or something, or just remember them, of the different ores. It's the cobalt. But the area is pretty vast. I haven't explored this whole thing, but if I get the cart, or what do they call it? I don't even know. The little vehicle. I will explore from border to border and see what it looks like. Still cobalt. The lead and cobalt is the only thing I've found. Here's lead in the cobalt region. Now, lead is something that you don't find. Whoa. That looked kind of strange. I guess, I'm climbing up a mountain. Cobalt. So this is probably kind of the edge of one of the areas. I don't remember which Europa. There's like 6 maps of every implant. Oh, my battery died. That's not good because I need the tracker to get back in case it fell. To get back, period, at this point. There we go. Well, anyway, you see how it works. I mean, it's going to be difficult because I know a lot of people thought the deep miner was too easy. And I think this is their answer to it. Making the deep miner give you limited ores. There's gold. You know what? I'm going to mine this silver, because that's one thing that I haven't found a lot of. Let me turn that off. Excuse me while I mine a second here. I'm going to need more electrum here eventually. Another thing about this planet is the ore seems really deep. I've dug some really deep holes. Everything seems to go straight down, but I'm not going to go too far for silver because it fills up pretty fast. And this is something else that's kind of cool. Notice the color. It gives you hints, at least on Europa, of which direction you have to mine to find more of the ore. I think that is so cool. You don't have to kind of guess. Alright, so back to this. I'm still in cobalt. Now I've been running around, but I don't know what particular direction I'm running. I'm just kind of... lots of oxide ice in this planet, by the way. And not much volatile. Volatile is also one of the things that's a little difficult to find. Still cobalt. Iron. Nitrous oxide. Let's go this way. Well, I don't want to get too much on just running around here and boring the daylights out of everybody. So let me go to the tracker. 507. Okay. I'll have to see about making the vehicle. Now the question I have is if the vehicle is outside in a storm, I would imagine it's going to get damaged, so I'm going to have to build a little garage for it, which means I'm not going to build it until I get the next storm. It's day 18. I am literally overdue for a storm. Around every 8 days or so on this, it's on the planet here, it seems. 300. I only found 47 water so far, so water isn't real abundant on here, but just out of curiosity. Still cobalt, okay. So, it's going to be interesting to figure out this deep miner cartridge and see how. I'm going to have to set up an outpost with its own power, its own wind turbines and stuff like that, just to do deep mining. Almost makes it easier to go out in space. But we're going to do that. I'm going to set up an outpost. See about building the, what the heck is it called? Is it the shuttle? And that shuttlecraft. Shuttlecraft? Mark II shuttlecraft. It's not complete yet by the looks of it. Entity, yeah, they're still working on that. But there is... I'll find it. I'll get back to the base here and... yeah, let me pause it. I'll get back to the base and we'll look it up and see what the heck it is. Okay, so it's called the Rover. So we need copper, steel, electrum. I have all that. Rover Kit Mark 1. Does it say what you need to build it? Rover Mark 1. 5 plastic sheets and 5 steel sheets. So that's relatively inexpensive. Guess what, guys? I'll be building this. So if you want to see what this looks like how it works, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode, because I'm going to stack size of 10. Holy cow, what would you need 10 rovers for? Yeah. So it is relatively, 80 steel sheets. I was going to say it's relatively inexpensive, but I'm not even sure if I have 80 steel sheets. I might have to make new steel. I don't think I do anymore. I was going to use an atmospherics in here. Matter of fact, I got it in my hand. But then, for an air conditioner, but then this came on, and with my program it went to 299 Kelvin, which is roughly, there you go, 26 Celsius. And it hasn't budged. Hasn't gotten hotter, hasn't gotten cooler. I guess because I got a couple things running in here, like lights, and so it's keeping it right at 299, which is kind of surprising because of the atmosphere. But let me go check real quick.
Power low.
Yeah. Right, problem solved. I still have not had a storm, by the way. Although, well, it is day 19 now. Kind of surprised. Steel would be over here, so I probably got to make more steel. I do. I only got 48 sheets left. I got 300 iron, but I'll probably go out and mine. Do I have coal? Thought I had coal. Might be inside here. That's probably it right there. I thought I had 50 coal. But I'll mine some iron, make some steel. Next time you come back, like I said, like and subscribe. And tomorrow's episode, I'll have a rover, and we'll see what I can do with it. I'm kind of curious. And is there a way to anchor it to your base so it doesn't get damaged like everything else that's out here in the storms? Can you anchor it to your base, or do you have to build a garage for it to protect it? Interesting. All right. Again, Navy Old Salt Gamer, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.